Leo, this project has been something you've been working on since 2007.
That was the ability to really push the envelope with this and not censor. Look, I was fascinated with doing something like a modern day Caligula, you know, the darker nature of these guys, not necessarily on Wall Street, because the more I researched this, it wasn't necessarily about Wall Street. It was about something that's in our very culture, you know, the attitude of these guys, the need to incessantly consume as much as possible with complete disregard for anyone except, you know, themselves. You know, doing a film with a lead character like this who is so dismissive to everyone and everything. I mean, there's some key moments in this film that Jonah keeps talking about where he goes, well, you know, she blew everybody in the office, and anyway, he killed himself, which was Stratton's first suicide. So anyway, and then you move on with the picture. It's just like this. There are these characters that just keep pushing forward, and we don't see the wake of their destruction. They just keep pushing forward, and to get a film of that nature financed, I think at any time frame, especially now, is incredibly difficult. We did get it financed, you know, at about 5 or 6 years ago, but it fell apart, and there was some struggles with it, and it wasn't really until, you know, our collaborators and financiers at Red Granite came in and said, look, we feel like there's a marketplace for films like this, and we want you guys to have complete, you know, artistic freedom to push the boundaries with it, because that's what's going to make it interesting. Yeah. And you did mention King of Comedy, and I keep referencing this because I remember seeing a documentary on King of Comedy, or footage from King of Comedy, yeah, where a lot of the actors would get together and take the material and improvise around the scene, and then on the day we'd re-improvise that. And that was the feel of this. It was a constant, you know, there's not many directors that will, you know, stay with actors and try to get something from their characterization of these people, even if it's not essential to the structure of the plot. And that's what's so great about what Marty does and his process. If he feels like, you know, ultimately the characters become the plot, and if he feels like something's going to happen there, even if it's not essential to the building blocks of getting to the ending, he'll stick with it all day long. And I remember asking about Goodfellas over and over again, and how he got that famous scene with Joe Pesci saying, what am I, a clown? What am I here to abuse? He said that wasn't even in the script. The guys just got together and they all started talking. But that was the feel of this movie as well. You know, we weren't beholden to, you know, a specific plot structure. It was the characterization of these people. But those speeches, yes, that was something that I had been thinking about for 6 years. There were some of the most brilliantly written speeches I'd ever read. There were these greed-fueled, you know, Braveheart cries to battle, but and he was influencing everybody to go screw as many people over as possible. And there was a huge build-up for those scenes, and I'd thought about them for such a long period of time that the day I actually arrived on set, I had strep throat and couldn't do any of them. Classic. So we had to wait.
You also met Jordan Belfort. Did that influence your performance at all?
Very much so. Mm-hmm. Yes, I spent many months with him, and what was so refreshing about him was the fact that, look, he knew he made a lot of mistakes. This was a very dark period in his life, so he was incredibly candid and always forthright and always honest. A lot of times we'd be talking about specific scenes, and he would say it was like that, but actually it was 10 times worse, and I'm going to tell you why. And I really had a worse intention. I really wanted to screw that guy over. So, you know, all that insight, and especially a lot of the sales stuff. I mean, he took me through beat by beat, the lowering of the voice, you know, how you manipulate somebody. It's all a part of, you know, I mean, the way we depict him at the end of this movie is what he's doing right now. His life is much different now, and he's you know, trying to make amends with the past and repair what he did. But it was amazing to work with somebody and be able to literally call somebody sometimes in between takes and say, I have a question. You know, you just don't get that.
Actually, I've got an embarrassing confession. One of the
yes.
prostitutes.
I know. Tell them.
The scene of the girl with Leo and the candle.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that
Venice.
soon.
Venice was her name.
Yeah, that was my outfit.
Are you serious? No. Was it really?
That's fine. It still fits.
Wow. That is
Bravo.
fantastic.